My name is Teresa Osborne. I work with the AVID Learning Success Center. Specifically, I am a student learning specialist in the AVID Center. A repeated mistake is not completing work on a weekly basis. So each week thinking, oh, I'll finish that next week, I'll finish that next week, and then the week before finals, there is a huge pile of work to take care of. The best habits I see students exhibit is they actually create a calendar for each week of when their classes are, when they need to work, when they need to study, what they're going to work on, and they track their assignments as they go. So then they have ended up learning things all along the way as they get into finals. A second thing that I see students who approach finals with less stress is they've actually put their notes and their assignments in an organized fashion. It could be as simple as a binder where as they take notes they put them in there. It could be a spiral notebook that they always date and put the topic and then do whatever the notes are. So both of those things really help a student heading into finals.
To deal with stress, I definitely go outside and I like to sit out and just feel the fresh air and the sunshine, or just talk to my family/friends.
To deal with stress, it's either I study more, so at least I know I'm studying, or I'll spend a lot of time with friends, like socializing. Like here at school, sometimes I'll just go here just to socialize.
I probably exercise a lot. Science could back me up. I really like running. I'm a track and field athlete. That's normally how I get out of I guess my head, because that's where I sit a lot when I'm in a stressful academic day.
Sometimes that looks like taking a break, because I think it's a lot. And sometimes the workload is crazy. So taking a break and surrounding myself with other people, I guess, who are on a similar journey. Sometimes it feels nice to know that you're not the only one struggling. It can feel a bit lonely on campus, but if you get into spaces where other people are kind of doing similar things, it makes it easier, I guess. And the gym, that's my favorite place. So that helps a lot too.
The best thing a student can do is to be prepared. So here in the third week of school, already thinking about finals, and when they're doing notes or taking an assignment or working in class, they're thinking about, where am I going to put this information so that I can find it in 7 weeks when I need to potentially review it for finals. So organizing those materials as you go, instead of just always shoving them into a bag and figure you'll get to it next time, or next week, is usually a better strategy. So starting the term with a system by which you're going to keep your assignments. It could be an electronic document folder that you have on your computer. It could be when you have printed out papers, you make sure you date them and you put the class and you put what it's for and you keep them in a file folder and you keep them in order. Any of those things from the beginning of the term will help a student when they're getting to finals week. My number one mistake was thinking, this is too much reading for me to do next week, so I'll do just some of it now and I'll do the rest of it next week. And then the next week I would try and catch up on the previous week, so then I'd be behind in the next week, and so on and so forth. So I would get to finals week and I would be essentially 3 or 4 weeks behind on all the reading. And then trying to read all that before finals, like in all-night sessions, was not very effective. So I had to figure out, even though it was really hard the first week to sit and do all the homework and all the reading and all the note-taking, that's what I had to do, because I could not count on there being more time later on to do anything. I had been a pretty good high school student, and I didn't really realize how much more work there would be in college. And so the volume of things I had to do had accelerated. so much, and that's where I wasn't prepared for it. So I was always trying to play catch up. So I just had to recognize that I wasn't as smart as I thought I was, and that I really needed to think about how I was going to approach my studies to make sure I could get everything done in a timely manner and not in a 24, 48-hour sprint the weekend before finals. I would say all of the tutoring services. The area above the library has math and science tutoring, has the writing lab, has access to computers, and then has the Avid Center. So if you have subject area things like you're just not getting right how you break down a problem in order to answer it, or you need help editing a paper, you've got those places. If you are feeling like I'm overwhelmed and I need a schedule, you can come into the Avid Center and we could help you work through how are you going to make sure you get everything done. So we are all up here to help. There's also the computer lab, which is on a first floor. It's not up above the library. It's one building over. So if you need to use a computer, if something seems to be messed up in a computer program, your personal laptop, or you need a school computer, the computer lab can help with any of those things as well. College is difficult, and students really have to admit that they need assistance. Right? It's really hard to go it alone in a place that is big and that is new and that you don't know all the people. It's hard to ask for help, but you have to be ready to ask for help because Mount Hood has all of these services that can assist you with your classes, and so you should take advantage of them. The other piece of advice I would say is if you are unsure what to do in a class, there is the one person who knows what you should do, and that's the instructor. Your friends can tell you all they want, what they think they're supposed to do, but the one person who knows, who wrote the class, who grades the work, is the instructor. And between email and office hours, you should be able to get the answers you need. So you also cannot be afraid of asking them for clarification if you are uncertain how you're supposed to proceed.